So innovators actually have a spine, okay? Like I actually wanted to have a gift. I was going to give certain people I know a spine as a gift. Mail them a spine.
We're all innovators.
No, what I'm saying is, so innovators know that you never have all the answers. Right? There are people who sit around all day and do theoretical work, write papers and theorize. They'll never do anything. Right? Innovators actually go out, do stuff. They know they're going to make mistakes. They learn and they go do, they learn and they go do, and they learn and they do.
They have to take chances making mistakes.
Exactly. That's why sometimes people who think there are, quote unquote, they're not the smartest people in the world, actually end up winning the game because they have the courage to go do stuff. You see what I'm saying? So let me give you an example of that. Someone who did that. Anyone heard of a guy called Robert Clive?
Mm-hmm.
Who's heard of Robert Clive? Okay, if you know who he is, who is he? Okay. Robert Clive was a bookkeeper. Okay? He ended up becoming the Emperor of India. Did you know that?
Yep.
He was an accountant, a bookkeeper in the East India Company. All right? He was a bookkeeper. He ended up becoming the Emperor of India. You know how he did that? Because he had for better or worse, he had a spine. So there's a biography written on Robert Clive. The story goes like this. It's a true story. Robert Clive was a bookkeeper in the East India Company. He comes to India. Again, he was a bookkeeper. He was stationed in Madras, actually, in Tamil Nadu. What was interesting about this guy was there's a war that, so in those days, the British, after they came to India, remember, Tamil Nadu, all the Indian states became provinces of different, of these feudal lords, right? Of these different zamindars. And the British, the French, the Dutch would go, and they would become, Vinegar, are we okay on time?
3:45.
Huh?
3:45 now.
5 minutes? Okay, I'll finish this.
Take 5 minutes to...
Would it okay though?
Yeah.
Okay. So the British would, for example, be friends with certain Indian kings. The Dutch would be friends with other Indian kings. You follow? And they would fight among themselves. So there was a famous battle where the British were fighting the French, and they were actually losing. And then they asked, would anyone want to come fight? So this guy, Robert Clive, is a bookkeeper. He says, okay, I'll go fight. He takes the gun, goes fights with a small group, and he ends up winning. Okay? Again, the guy's a bookkeeper. Had no even ability to fight, but he had the courage to go fight. A few months later, they give him a small command to run. So he's again fighting the French again. He only has 50 people and they're surrounded in a fort. 50 people against 3,000 French. 50 people against 3,000, right? So what does he do? He takes 25 people and he charges at the French, right? And the other 30 he keeps. The French thinks he's got more than 50 people. Because they think, wow, this guy's got so much courage, he must have actually more. They all run away and he ends up winning that battle. So you look at the history of this guy and repeatedly had this just outrageous courage to do stuff. Okay? And he ends up eventually becoming the Emperor of India. But his entire life was marked by incredible amounts of risk-taking and courage.